Hey, it's Lynn, and in this video I'm going to take you on a tour of all the viral food spots in Mexico City. First stop, we've got Birria Los Gueros de Juanacatlan, and at this spot I got 2 tacos, a quesadilla, and an al pastor. Frankly, had quite high expectations because it's a viral street taco spot, but unfortunately this spot was just okay. The tacos were a little too oily for my taste, and the quesadilla unfortunately lacked flavor. However, I can see this as a good spot to dine after partying at the nearby bars, and the 2 tacos kept me pretty satiated for a whole day of exploring. We stopped by the Secret Donut Society, and this place had a cool futuristic vibe to it, and of course I ordered the chocolatiest donut of them all, the Da Vinci. That said, it was a bit disappointing because the donut itself was not the freshest and also very oily, and I had 2 bites and gave up. Finally, it's dinner time, and we were able to reserve a table at Contramar, and I wanted to try their famous tuna tostada, and damn, it was so delicious. The fresh tuna on top of a layer of chipotle mayo with slices of avocado and toasted onions on top were a great way to start dinner. Then we had the huevos rotos con patatas, and I didn't know what to expect with a croquette, but these were packed with so much flavor I ate 3. Then our pasta of choice was the pasta con almejas, and I thought this dish was a bit under-seasoned and the pasta was overcooked, so I ended up not going for seconds after this one. Then came the albondigas de pescado and salsa morita. I never would have picked this out for myself, but I'm glad that the group did because it was delicious. And now my favorite, the camarones al tequila. Wow, wow, wow. This was the highlight of my dinner. It was so flavorful. Then we had the pulpo a las brasas con adobo de chile meco, and if I wasn't starting to get full from all the other previous dishes, I could have easily eaten this entire plate by myself. And our last dish was the pescado a la Italia with half red adobo rub and half parsley rub. I am personally partial to the red adobo rub, and I liked eating it by itself, but it came with tortillas, so you could make your own little fish taco with it too. It was a nice way to end dinner. And for dessert, we went to El Moro, and I don't know if it's because it's 9 p.m., but I would not recommend this place. It's way too overhyped, the lines are long, and the tables were left messy, and the churros were very stale. Panaderia Rosetta, on the other hand, is a different story. This bakery is famous for many reasons, but their tomato and basil focaccia is the reason why I went back to this spot 3 times. It's just so damn good. Yes, there will be a line for both to go and dine in, but it's worth it, I promise. Restaurante Rosetta, its older sister down the street, is a Michelin star restaurant, and the stars had to align for us to get a spot here for lunch without a reservation. We got some bread, ripe green mango with tamarind sauce, soft shell crab with slices of grapefruit and avocado, and their tamales for starters, and they were all scrumptious. For mains, we got the risotto and the steak, and I must say this is where the disappointment kicked in because for the price of the mains, I was left pretty unsatiated. Speaking of Michelin stars, we're taking it up a notch. We had dinner at Pujol. First, we were served their famous baby corn elote smothered in an incredibly spiced sauce served in a smoked gourd. I don't mean this lightly when I say that this is one of the best dishes I've ever had in my entire life. It was also served with a bite-sized corn-based croquette that was just bursting with flavors. I could eat like 8 of these. Then we were served the cobohime beetroot with bluefin tuna with green juice and chile guero escabeche, and it was a great palate cleanser in between the elote and the next dish, which is the quelites tostada with abalone, green mole, chile pasado, and cured egg yolk. This dish was very surprising to me because as someone who doesn't enjoy eating abalone historically, it made me rethink my choices in the past. This was simply divine, and I was savoring each and every single bite. This grilled bass was next, and if I'm being honest, this was nothing to write home about. It tasted okay, but it wasn't anything that I haven't had before. And unfortunately, the same goes for this wagyu, which was the main dish and the one that I was looking forward to the most. The mushroom and the roasted eggplant dollop was a great addition, but again, it was just meh. Hard pass on this 10-year-old mole, and the banana flan felt a bit flat, but overall I would say that Pujol had its high highs and low lows, but I'm glad I got to experience an upscale Mexican tasting journey. Up next, Odette, the bakery. It was really hard to resist everything at this spot because everything just looked so delicious, but we ended up being able to narrow it down to this turkey and cheese croissant, which was just perfect for a semi-rainy morning if you're craving for something a little bit on the savory side. And then the guava pastry, which my husband absolutely devoured, was just perfection, not too sweet at all. And finally, the Ferrero croissant, which had melted chocolate and hazelnuts on top, was just amazing. It was so overwhelming though that we couldn't finish it, but every bite was fabulously delicious. We went to Maximo Bistrot, and spoiler alert, my husband and I both agreed that this was the best restaurant that we went to in Mexico City. We started with a kampachi sashimi with soy and ginger vinaigrette and matcha. No, not the Japanese green tea. And this dish was unbelievably fresh yet sophisticated. We savored every single bite. Then we got the roasted baby corn with hollandaise and parmesan, and this was a lighter version of the roasted corn from Pujol the night before, and it is a bit of a fancier take on the Mexican elote. And as a corn fiend, this was definitely right up my alley, as you can tell by my joyous food dance. Our first main was the thyme-roasted organic chicken breast, and this had crispy skin, yet the insides were soft, juicy, and delectable. And for the main event, the filet mignon with mushrooms and gravy, we specifically ordered this to be medium well, and it came out as a perfect medium steak. This was incredibly tasty and was an unbelievable way to end our lunch. But the party didn't stop there, because at the end of our meal, we were also served with some white wine on the house, which was a very nice touch. Our last and final spot on the list was Taqueria Oronico, and if Mexico City had a taqueria that resembled In-N-Out, this would be it. You're literally in, you eat to your heart's desire, and you're out. I got the quesadilla trompo, aka al pastor, and quesadilla chicharron, and damn, they definitely hit that taco spot I was missing from this trip. This place was so good, we went there twice in 2 days, once for dinner the night before and once for lunch before our flight. This spot is fairly inexpensive, and for the amount of food you get and all the wonderful flavors bursting in your mouth, this is definitely a must place to visit. To say that I had a ridiculously amazing time eating my way through Mexico City is the understatement of the century. I hope you can make your way here soon, and as always, thanks so much for watching. You are awesome, stay awesome, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye!